Everybody who's a hater, I would sure like to thank them. I'm Mr. Krabs, you're looking more like Plankton. Now let's see what Cosmo and Ron to do. Obtuse, rubber goose, green goose, guava juice. Powerpuff Girls taught me how to be the nicest by making sure I don't forget the sugar and the spices.
Okay, you beautiful passengers, welcome back to the back of this semi-truck, and I just got done doing a new type of video that I haven't put together yet, or none of that stuff. I'm literally recording this reaction after that. But what I did was a fan casting for the live-action Hercules that Disney said that they are creating, and I'm trying some new things out with that, but I definitely found out that this truck is really hot after a few minutes of not running. So I'm not going to run my mouth too long, because when I sit here running my mouth like I do, I end up getting pretty hyper. And it's raining outside, by the way, if y'all can hear that drizzle on top of the, roof here. It's actually a nice sound. I will try not to be on that subject for too long. Hopefully it cools it off even inside here. I know it's going to cool it off outside. That's going to be a really nice walk tonight. Wow. I am rambling on and on and on and getting on to 5 different subjects. So, on to this. Yes, I do got a bit of adult ADD. I will get distracted very easily. Heck, I've already gotten distracted talking about adult ADD. Granted, no, I'm not diagnosed. I'm self-diagnosing. But yes, hopefully the rain is not too loud. If it is, then I'll just bump the audio up on this, and y'all be, y'all probably be happier with me anyway, because I finally bumped the audio up like I need to. But Volume 2, World of Remnant, and this, okay, this is a little bit different. What we're going to have to do with this is watch the first video. Well, we don't have to. I could have combined them all, but I wanted to watch the first one, then watch the next one. I wanted to watch them. Yeah, I wanted to kind of talk in between each one, like I normally do. But the first one's like 2 minutes, the second one's like 3 minutes, and the third one's like 2 minutes, and then that last one is like 6 minutes. That really surprised me, so we're going to just jump right into this. Like I said, if I talk and talk and talk, I'm going to get hyper, and I'm going to end up starting to sweat. And I don't want to see that. That's just, nah. And by any chance y'all ain't figured it out yet, welcome to the back of a semi-truck if you haven't been back inside of one yet. So, yes, welcome passengers. That's why I call y'all passengers at the beginning of videos, because y'all are a passenger inside my semi-truck. So, I can't say 3, 2, 1 until I actually bring the video up. 3, 2, 1. I have no idea what order I'm watching these in, but we're going to do it anyway and play. World of Remnant, Rwby. Let's do this, y'all. It is very quiet. Hopefully I've got this turned up. Okay. Vytal Festival Tournament. I do not like the font that they used on that. It just does not mix well with the black background.
Began, as most things do, with war.
Who is talking?
The kingdoms of the world had been locked in a violent struggle for years. But eventually the Great War of Remnant came to an end on the small island of Vytal.
I feel like this is Ozpin.
Leaders chose peace over bloodshed and constructed the future of modern society.
That's what I'm gonna go with until y'all correct me down in the comments.
Academies and new traditions. The Vytal Festival was created to serve as a celebration of peace between the kingdoms. Every 2 years, a kingdom would be chosen to open its doors to the world, allowing citizens from every corner of Remnant to meet and indulge in one another's cultures. The pinnacle of this event was the Vytal Festival Tournament.
Okay. See, if I wasn't afraid of spoilers, I would go ahead and watch these World of Remnant things before I watched the volume. But I don't want to be spoiled, so that's why I'm not really. And I'm waiting to see somebody, wield a mace like that, or ball and chain, whatever they want to call it. I wonder who's going to win the tournament then. Huh.
So did the games. And in time, it was decided that the tournament would need a stage equal in greatness to that of its
Well,
competitors.
that is interesting.
Amity Coliseum was the culmination of the Four Kingdoms' efforts.
I like that.
A technological marvel and a shining symbol of harmony, capable of making the journey to all the kingdoms of Remnant.
Okay.
It's true that all of this began with war. But it is peace that has served to shepherd humanity on its ascension to greatness.
Yeah, I was about to say, but with war eventually comes peace.
May we never stray from that path.
I think we're straying from the path. Okay, so that was the first one, Vytal Festival. It pretty much in a nutshell, it tells us, you know, what's what with the Vytal festivals and stuff like that. So, yeah, it pretty much gives us the background. There's war, and then we all came together, blah, blah, blah. It didn't really tell us too much. It did tell us that, you know, they're going to have the tournament. And that did get me thinking, I wonder who is going to win this tournament. Because I know we got Pyrrha, but is there a chance that Jean, well, y'all already know. I was about to say, is there a chance that Jean might be able to actually win? He has been training with Pyrrha, so there is a possibility. No, there ain't a possibility. Never mind. On to the next one. Like I said, I'm not watching these in any particular order, so I don't know if I got these in order. So next one, 3. That's not 2. 2, 1, and play. We don't have music with this little intro thing. What's the next one? Huntsmen. Okay, let's do it.
Huntsmen and Huntresses.
And
Best
Huntresses.
and brightest warriors of Remnant.
I'm interested in who that is already.
Police and even military in terms of strength and skill.
I like the color purple.
The occupation was established alongside the Huntsman academies after the Great War, with the hope of creating elite warriors whose sole purpose would be to combat the creatures of Grimm. Beacon Academy was founded in Vale, Haven founded in Mistral, Shade founded in Vacuo, and Atlas founded in the now-defunct kingdom of Mantle.
You know, it's going to take me forever to get to know
accepted graduates
all
of
these
primary
kingdoms.
schools who showed enough promise and tenacity to not only battle the
Oof.
world's deadliest creatures, but also protect their fellow man. For this reason, trainees are grouped with
Yay!
teams, ensuring the
It's our
continued
main
development
4.
of communication, empathy, and teamwork. Traits that are vital to any guardian of peace.
I was about to say I like how Blake has the cat ears up, but that was just her
The
bow.
founders of the academies believe that their graduates should be kept separate from kingdom allegiance. Once finished with their training, huntsmen and huntresses are free to choose who they work for, as well as what kind of work they will do through the use of mission boards.
Okay, that's interesting.
Allying with a particular kingdom.
We saw the mission boards earlier this season, so that's cool.
However, Atlas Academy has come under increasing amounts of scrutiny for the indoctrination of military lifestyle upon its students, pressuring them to enlist in the Atlas military's Special Operatives Unit.
I wonder who that white silhouette was.
But the end result is the same.
It wasn't
Huntsmen and
Goodwitch.
huntresses ready to make their own path.
Maybe it's just some random
Some will stay
person.
together as a team. Some would move on.
You know, I
to
like
live
this
alone.
style of animation for these little
But
stories
all are
like this.
expected to serve
I'm gonna
humanity
screenshot that.
and never succumb to the darkness.
Oh wow, are we already done with it? Okay, well that was interesting. Huntsmen and Huntresses. What's going to really take me more time than anything to actually get used to everything, is it really raining right now? Oh sweet, okay cool, it is raining. That's going to be a nice little walk tonight. I plan on getting about 1.5 miles in and then, you know, getting, you know, all that good stuff. But either way. Huntsmen and Huntresses. More than anything, what I take from that is I'm still trying to get familiar with the kingdoms and the kingdom names and stuff like that. I know that Beacon is in Vale, and, you know, then we got Atlas, and it's just, you know, my brain, I've watched these episodes back to back to back to back to back to back, and my brain just hasn't caught up yet with getting all the names of everything completely enthralled into my head. So that's the big thing that I'm going to end up having to get used to. Alright, right ear, left ear. Let's do this again. 3, 2, 1, and play.
Throughout the years,
wow, that was fast. You just started.
Technological advances that have changed
I'm not
society.
used to that.
The most influential of all
Cross-continental
the
transmit system.
transmit system.
Okay.
Prior to the invention of the CCTS, long-range
CCT,
communication was
okay.
extremely limited.
Okay,
The discovery and development of radio technology allowed for communication
pretty
within
much
the boundaries
wireless
of most
cell
kingdoms.
phones. Okay, cool.
But communication with other parts of the world
But-
was restricted to the physical delivery of messages.
Yeah, I was about to say,
With every
but
alternative
you've got
form
to
of
be in certain
communication that was
locations to
proposed,
use that
they
wireless
seemed to be the
connection.
perfect obstacle. The destructive nature of the creatures of Grimm severely limited the reliability of ground-based technologies.
Okay.
The concept of relay satellites orbiting around the planet was promising. Unfortunately, modern man has yet to make the technological advancements required to achieve spaceflight,
Really?
as all known dust types lose their power as they begin to leave Remnant's atmosphere.
Oh, well that was...
Eventually,
that's
it
an
was the
interesting
people
little
of
tidbit.
Atlas, the world's leader in science and technology, that developed the cross-continental transmit system. It was revolutionary. Like radio, signals were sent and received wirelessly, though the content of these
Those little
transmissions were not
tower-looking
nearly as
thingies
limited.
definitely
Audio,
remind me of
video, images, and
Tesla's,
text were all capable of transmission,
the little
and
towers
eventually
that he
an entire
made.
online web of information was at mankind's
So,
fingertips.
yeah, that's what
Currently,
it definitely
the system
reminds
is
me
supported
of.
by 4
The
primary
Wycliffe Tower?
relay towers,
I
each
can't remember the
located
exact
within a
name.
safeguarded area of the
But,
kingdoms.
yeah.
These towers allow
I wonder
for
if
wireless
that's what they're kinda
communication
going
within a
for.
kingdom through the use of devices such as scrolls. Signals become less
And
reliable
scrolls are
the
pretty much
farther the
phones,
user
okay.
travels from the CCT tower. And although smaller support towers do exist outside of kingdoms, they are constantly at risk of destruction by the creatures of Grimm. Shortcomings aside, for the first time in history, digital transmissions between kingdoms were possible through the use of slightly more advanced devices, typically found in homes and
there's
CCT
Weiss.
centers. The cross-continental transmit system has and will continue to advance the progression of mankind. However, if one of the 4 towers is taken offline, the entire network fails with it. A
Oh.
slight inconvenience during routine maintenance, but to be honest, I find the limitation somewhat poetic.
Okay.
No one voice is louder than the others, and no voice may be silenced without the rest. If the people of Remnant are to speak, then they shall do so together. Or not at all.
Ah, wow. Okay, so that's even more... That's a very interesting one. That feels like quite a bit of foreshadowing, in my opinion, because if you knock one tower out, you knock them all out. So that tells me that eventually there's going to be some villain who's going to come in and knock out one of these towers and create mass chaos when it comes to the communication efforts and stuff like that. And then on top of that, the nice little other tidbit is the fact that they've tried, you know, going to outer space and stuff like that, but the dust just doesn't work with them after, you know, when they try to leave this world here. So though that's pretty interesting tidbit. They can't leave the world and stuff like that. So yeah, nice little tidbit. I definitely think that little tidbit about you knock one out, they all go out. So it's either you communicate together or you don't communicate at all. So right ear is going back in, left ear is going in. Let's do this last one. Let's see what it's about. This is a long one now, so I'm going to be sitting for what it said, 6 minutes and 47 seconds. That's a relatively long time. So, well, let's be real, it ain't a long time. I've got 30-minute episodes that I end up watching, so 3, 2, 1, and play. Alright, Well, the last one started right away. Why can't you start right away? What are we doing here? The 4 Maidens. I don't think y'all have mentioned anything about 4 Maidens yet.
Remnant, beside a great and mighty river, stood the small, fragile home of a cold, frail man. A lone wizard.
A wizard?
Hidden from the dangers and distractions of the world, the wizard seldom had visitors. But on this day, as he peered out his window, his gaze fell upon a young maiden.
Oh, there is a young maiden out there.
Calmly she sat beneath his tree.
I wouldn't even call her a young maiden if they didn't do it on here, so...
demanded an explanation. The maiden simply replied, "My name is Winter. I am
Winter?
on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters."
Really?
With that, she
Is
closed
your
her eyes
sisters
and sat in
spring,
silence.
summer,
The wizard told himself
autumn?
the girl was a fool, but the longer she sat, the more he wished to share in the serenity the young maiden enjoyed. In time, he grew tired and decided to close his eyes as well, thinking on this strange predicament. Upon opening his eyes, the wizard was befuddled to find that
Springtime!
a second maiden had appeared beneath his tree, cheerful
Yep.
and spry, with a basket of fruit and
I was
flowers.
right.
When he asked for an explanation, the girl simply replied, "My name is Spring. I'm on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." To show her gratitude for his reluctant
Obviously, your
hospitality,
sister is Summer.
the girl retrieved a handful of seeds from her basket and planted them in the wizard's garden.
Oh, well, that does make sense that she would be pretty energetic.
The old hermit could hardly believe his eyes as the maiden turned what was once a mere pile of dirt and manure into a beautiful
What?
garden from which life
She
would
even
soon
built him a
blossom.
fence. What in the world,
It's
girl?
likely he would have gazed for hours, were it not for the unfamiliar laughter he heard from beneath his tree. A young man with a warm smile now stood beside the 2 maidens.
Who is
The wizard
that?
begged her to introduce herself, to which she happily responded, "My name is Summer.
Summer!
I'm on a journey, and
I did
am
not
waiting for
expect
my
Summer
sister."
to be purple.
Of course, thought the wizard. But another chirp of laughter left the old man perplexed. What in the world was so funny? As it turned out, it was him. The new arrival found the wizard's insistence on staying indoors so very amusing.
Yeah.
Why choose to view the world through a small window when the door leading out to it was right at his side?
Wow.
It was a compelling argument.
It is a good
After only
argument.
a moment of brief hesitation,
Why not
the
leave
wizard
and
left
go out
his
into the
home
world, dude? Oh, wait, there's Grim out there. Don't do
and
that.
stepped outside. The warmth of the sun brought with it a surge of energy and life, and soon the wizard wasn't feeling much like himself anymore.
Really? Okay, so are you playing tag? Okay,
He was
so
feeling
where is
much
Autumn? Okay.
As the day drew to a close, the maidens and the wizard all settled down and prepared a feast. Winter set the table. Spring supplied the crops. Summer prepped the meal, and the wizard was the happiest he'd been in ages. But in all the excitement,
And
he nearly
there
failed
is
to notice
Autumn.
the delicate woman that now stood beneath his tree. He smiled and beckoned her to join them, asking only for her name.
Dude,
"My name is
obviously.
Fall.
Fall.
she replied
Okay,
softly.
autumn, fall, same
I am
difference.
on a journey and am here to meet my sisters. Who are
I
you?
am surprised that they use fall instead of autumn,
Me?
though.
The wizard wondered. Well, I am but an old hermit. I have lived in these woods alone for centuries, and I'm afraid my story is not very interesting, as I have no...
You know,
one to
this
love
one's
and
a
nothing
lot
to my
different
name."
than the rest of the Remnant
eldest sister
stories.
looked up
This
at all the
is
surroundings.
giving us, like, lore
Do
and
you not
all
see?
sorts of
You
stuff
have
with
so
it.
much.
So, I'm still surprised that Spring ended
With
up
their
making...
help, it was now
that
clear
fence
to
for
see
you.
that the wizard had everything he could ever need. He was grateful, but a question lingered in his mind. Why me? he asked. Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special? The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke.
Why not?
I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things
Oh,
for you
okay.
because you were special.
I thought they were
We do
going to
what we
ask
can
why not.
For everyone, because we are able.
So,
The wizard was
Fall
at a
is the
loss.
eldest.
Never in
Okay.
his years had he
You know,
come
you would
across
figure
such
it would be
kindness.
winter.
It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters.
Okay. So... Huh.
He smiled. Take this gift, and know now that you are able to do so much more. Now, armed with the elements, the very powers of nature,
Yep.
and the unimaginable magic of the wizard, the four maidens, winter, spring, summer, and fall, promised to carry onward with their journey, using their gifts to aid others,
Huh.
just as they had aided him. One by one, the sisters left, but before they did, they made one final promise.
What's that?
They promised to return each and every year to visit their dear friend.
Huh. Yeah, but after a while, he would pass away, and then who would y'all go visit? Granted, yeah, that wasn't probably the first thought that would come through everybody's mind, but I'm not like everybody else either, am I? Okay, so that was a little bit different than what I was expecting. I was expecting information, but what I got from the last one was lore. It seems like we got a lot of lore when it comes to the seasons, and they are represented by these four girls, and it seems like they have magic, and I know that, you know, there isn't magic in this series, but we are told that there's magic now. And I'm not sure how to take this last thing. I know, I mean, are they going to appear in the show? I doubt it. Maybe they were just trying to tell us the legend of the four maidens. If I remember correctly, I believe that somebody mentioned something somewhere in all these episodes that I watched about four maidens. I can't be 100% sure, but maybe they're just showing us what the legend of the four maidens are. Obviously, it would have been told to, you know, something would have been said in Volume 2 for this to be the World of Remnant Volume 2. So, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm guessing. They're just trying to give us the lore and the myth of the four maidens. So, it's a pretty cool story. I like it. We had an old hermit wizard back in the day. He gave all his magic to all the four seasons, and you know, it's a nice little change of pace. It's not what I'm used to from this show, but it's a change of pace. Well, wow, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go for that walk tonight. That's some nice little thunder happening there. I'm gonna still attempt to go for that walk anyway. I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder in the background, but I know I can definitely hear it. Like I said, I don't know how to take that. I definitely like the second to last one where we got all the information about the communication towers and stuff like that, because that felt like a lot of foreshadowing to me for Volume 3. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Well, then on top of that, we got the Vytal Festival. So there's some foreshadowing there because the tournament's eventually going to happen. They talked about the flipping tournament all through Volume 2, but they didn't have a tournament. I'm expecting a tournament in Volume 3 because that's all we talked about in Volume 2. Now, I want that tournament to happen. I believe the first episode to Chapter 3, no, not Chapter 3, of Volume 3 is entitled Round 1. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm presuming the flipping tournament's about to start. I really hope so. But, you know what? it's getting a little warm in here. I'm going to go ahead, crank the truck, set everything up for the truck to stay running, all that good stuff. That way it gets nice and cold in here and I could sleep like a little baby and all that good stuff. So y'all know what to do from here. Hit that like, tickle to subscribe, don't be texting and driving, and as Mr. Rogers always says,
And I like you as you are, I do.